Okay, so here we have our cylinder. This is the final product, and it's still pretty fragile right now because it's still wet. So if we were to push it or whatever, then it will smudge it. So we want to be very careful. So I'm gonna put it on the side. However, remember that part of our project is to turn our cylinder into something else, something useful, right? So I decided that I'm going to make my little cylinder into a little jewelry box, like a little type of container. So to do that, I'm going to be using the remainder of my clay to make a top for it, to make a lid. Because I want to use it to put in some jewelry. I might give it to somebody as a present, maybe one of my sisters, or maybe even for my mom. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the side for now, and I'm going to get another little block right here that I have made out of sheetrock. I love using this because it absorbs the moisture and it just dries out. Um, so they're very, very handy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be making another round slab. So I have my clay here. I already kneaded and wedged this clay, but I'm gonna do it a little bit more just to make sure that I don't have any bubbles in there. Remember, the bubbles are the enemy. They are going to destroy our piece if we leave them in there. So we wanna make sure that there are no bubbles. All right, so I think it's ready. My clay should be ready to go. So I'm gonna try to mold it a little bit into the shape that I want. In this case, I am making a lid for my cylinder, which I have right here. So of course the lid is going to be circular to match the shape of my cylinder, right? So I'm gonna try to shape it into a circle. And then I'm gonna use my dandy handy pin roller to flatten it like this. Remember, we don't want something that's too thick. We don't need a super heavy jewelry box. Nobody wants a heavy jewelry box, right? At least I don't think so. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and flatten it, make it thinner, and I wanna get a similar thickness to what I had with my cylinder, right? I want it to match. Okay, just going to roll it until I am happy with the thickness. I think this is good enough. So then what I want is I want to use it needs to be similar to what I have over here, right? So I'm going to use this to measure. I'm gonna be very careful. We do want to make it a little bit wider because remember it's gonna go on top of the lid. So I'm gonna use this sharp tool to measure, and this is the cool part. Like all you have to do, especially if you center it right, I want it to be a little bit wider right there, and then all I have to do is spin my little wheel, and I'll just hold this in place. Try to keep my hand steady so it doesn't move, and all I gotta do is spin around, and then I am going to have my circle completed. Okay, so here I still have a lot of clay left over, but that's good because I want to make a little wall for the lid, right? Okay, so I'm gonna move this again very carefully, and this is going to be the top. Let me show you guys my cylinder. This is gonna be the top of my jewelry box. Might have to cut it a little bit, might be a little bit too big, but that's okay. I'm gonna move this back, and I'm just gonna try to smooth it out, make it look nice and clean, and make it look really nice and clean. Okay, and again, this is practice. We're practicing. We are learning some new techniques. So I don't want you to be too harsh on yourself. I want you to try and not give up. Okay, there you go. Okay, so that's probably as good as it's gonna get. So I'm gonna let it be. I'm gonna maybe smooth it out a little bit more with my sponge, and then that's it. Okay, but the trick is going to be to create a little border here around there so that when I use this to cover, it stays in place, it doesn't slide off, right? So for that, I'm gonna roll a coil, just a little long coil like this. Roll it right there. Okay, so I'm gonna bring my cylinder back, and I want it to go inside like this, but I feel like it's still a little bit too small, so let me roll it a little bit more until I get to the right thickness. Let's see. I think that should be good. So now I'm gonna connect this like this. We wanna blend it together. This is a coil making a ring. So that's what we're doing. Next, I'm going to place it right there. I'm gonna move this gently away again. Okay, so it's gonna go right there, but for now, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it on the side. What I wanna do is I wanna lift this. I don't want it to get stuck, and then I won't be able to lift it. All right, this is gonna go right here. Let me show you again. This is gonna be the lid. Oops. We can always use our sponge to smooth it out, clean it up. Again, this is gonna go here, like that, right? So that when I put it like that, my lid stays in place. So I'm going to apply it right there, and I'm gonna press on it gently, like this. All right, like that. And then we have options, right? We can use either our fingers or we can use one of our tools, one of the cutting tools. I'm gonna use this one right here to blend it together, like this. All right, so I'm gonna do this all the way around. All the way around. All the way around. There you go. Just like so. There you go. Now you just clean it up a little bit. Blend it. Now, I know I said I wanted to make a jewelry box of this, but now that I think of it, now I'm beginning to think maybe I should make it into a little container to store sugar or creamer or something like that. But hey, anything is possible, right? You can use it for whatever you want. And then sometimes with art, things can change, right? You might have something in mind, and as you're working on it, you might change your mind, and you might want to use it for something else, or you might think, oh, this reminds me more of this than that, so it's okay. Because again, remember, the exercise or the purpose of this exercise, this activity, is for us to practice making a little vessel, making a cylinder using the slab method. Okay. There you go. So this is going to be the lid for my cylinder, and it does fit perfectly in there. You see? Now you can smooth it out using the sponge like this. There you go. So now I have my container, have my little cylinder right here. I have the lid that fits in there perfectly. That's my lid. Right now, in the state in which this clay is at right now, it's gonna be very easy to squish it, to damage it. So I'm trying to be very gentle. We don't want to press hard on it. All right, so we have our little container, made a little cylinder, and then we made a top for it. And then we decided we wanted to make a little storage container. First, I thought I was gonna make a jewelry box, but now the more I see it, I think it might look good in my kitchen to store maybe sugar or my creamer, right? Either way, whatever you use it for, you have a little container now that you created. You can decorate it depending however you want. Be creative. So there you have it. Ta-da!